Hey, what you doing there, foreface? Forehead, it's forehead, it's not foreface. What you doing there, foreface? How you doing today? Well, since common consensus has concluded that I've gone insane and I have a brake light out, we're gonna be doing a full LED Brazilian butt lift. It's all about the ass today, so buckle up, enjoy. By the way, I learned how to do chapters. So there's chapters across the bottom for each individual light on this. What's up, forehead? 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 What's up, forehead?
Why do you think you're so fucking cool?
So as you see behind me, there are a collection of every light on the back of this truck. And each one we're going to be replacing. Okay, so obviously we're going to be doing general tail lights for the corners, the strip light that goes right in the center of the tailgate. We got a third brake light, and because the old ones are either broken or dim, we got new tag lights as well. And since we have such a fat ass on this thing, we're also going to be installing a backup camera in this video today, not today, tomorrow. It's going to be between today and tomorrow. Okay, the sun's going down soon. Get off my back, or maybe get on it. And we're even going as far as to replace the Fender lights as well. They're going to be all new, full ass end Brazilian butt lift. So with all that out of the way, future me, you roll the intro and we're going to get into the video. So the first thing we're going to start with is the third brake light, the one up there. Let's go. Okay, so looking here at this oh my god, dirty ass third brake light. All we got is 2 Phillips heads and it'll come out. Now I got a fancy screwdriver. You don't need a fancy screwdriver, but it helps. 1. And now it should just pull on out. And this is held in there with some double-sided foam tape stuff. So we're gonna stick our flathead in there in between the paint and the light and try and get it to separate. We got some separation started. There we go. Obviously we have to be gentle. There's the top and there's the bottom. So we'll have main connector right here. We'll just pull that out. Our third brake light is off. Now we got some of this stuff. You got 2 ways of getting rid of this. You can acetone it, you can cut it off with a razor blade, or you can leave it there. What we're not gonna do is leave it there. I'm gonna be scraping away at this with my fingers. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, what's a couple blisters? All right, so with the foam now removed, we can take this new one and set this one into place. Don't forget, we got a plug, so we're gonna plug it in. This has a switch on it. I don't know what the switch does, so we're gonna see. Right now the switch is in the closed position, or the circle position. Ha, made you look. And we're gonna see what it does. I don't know what it does, you're gonna see what it does. Is that it strobing? Not gonna lie, that's kind of gay. Okay. Is that switch a strobe feature? Because if so, I hate it. Let's flip the switch. Oh, that is so much better. You know what? Part of me wants to run the strobe.
Not gonna lie, that's kinda gay.
We're gonna do the strobe. So, now that we got this set with the strobe feature on, this way I can look like a cool Honda. And tuck these wires in there, set this right on into place. 1 screw, Oh, nice and tight. Dude, this thing is tighter than your mom. Get this plastic out of there. Boom. Dude, that looks so fucking nice. Nice and blacked out. Ooh-wee. All right, now that we got this installed, we're gonna head over and we're gonna do the main tail lights. Oh my God, do you guys see that? Oh my God. What the fuck is that? Is that a spider? That's an ugly fucking spider, dude. And I gotta work right there? Fuck you. The fuck I do. All right, that's it. End of the video.
Tits or tires make it squeal.
Get the fuck away. God damn it. Go. What in the fuck is that thing? It is ugly as shit. Oh, I think it's a stink bug. It's got a flat ass. Kind of like your mom. Okay, now that we got the bug out of the way, now that we're back here at the main shebang at the back of the tail light, we only got 2 bolts to take out, and they're Torx bits. Fucking what? I think there's a Torx bit here in my fancy screwdriver. Now, once again, I said you don't have to have a fancy screwdriver like me, but it definitely does help. Apparently, except in this case, because I don't think, yeah, that's too small. And I'm willing to bet this one's gonna be a little too big. Wow, go figure. So this will just be a Torx bit, and we'll just take this one out. Oh yeah, fuck that. That felt good. Now with these out, that's it. You just got like the same tabs that you do up front. Just pull them out. This is where all your lights are housed. So if you have to just replace a bulb like I should be doing, pop these out with Phillips heads and replace your bulb. They'll be sitting on this board. But since we're replacing whole housings, we're just gonna take the connector. We're gonna have these tabs, same as the front, except these ones get pulled off to the side. Believe it or not, they don't come out. Off to the side it goes. Make sure it goes all the way out. Squeeze, push, and pull. And there we go. Whole housing is off. Now we got new housings. And since they're LED, they come with a fancy box. I'm not quite sure where I'm gonna put it. Probably chilling right there. But since it's getting dark, you guys can't see very well. So we're gonna end it here. We'll pick up tomorrow. All right, so it's the next day and it's colder than my last X outside. I don't remember what I left off with, but all I did was take the new light and plug it in. These new lights come with these guys. I'm sure the water is good for it. These are also resistors, similar to the front, except these are much less of a fiasco. If you take a normal bulb, if you have a normal bulb up front and you throw this in, this will actually work the right way. We gotta figure out how to put this, and I want to put it right in here, just like that, because I think if I have it there, it'll fit. Maybe it won't. So what do we do instead? We'll just set it down in there and pop it into place. Put our screws back in. This is hard to do without getting in your way. I gotta be missing something here. That explains a lot. And because nothing's ever so simple, we're gonna have to take these and swap these out to put these ones in. And throw our screws in. For real this time. Last and certainly not least, let them shine. Now we do the same thing on that side, except we gotta leave it out. We're gonna work on this guy, and we gotta get the handle off because that's where our backup camera is gonna be. We're gonna be moving across this way on the tailgate. This way we can save ourselves some extra labor when it comes to the backup camera, and you'll see why. So to get these this guy off, this is just gonna be 2 Phillips heads, like the 3rd brake light. All right, and then once you get this guy out of here, pull it back and you'll see we got 3 different bulbs here. Take these guys out. then they got little plastic Christmas tree holder things. I call them Christmas trees. I don't know what they're actually called, but you got some of these. Take 2 of those out. You're also going to want to take all the bulbs out, and this new fancy light, it comes with a 194, and you can take your last or your middle, and we're going to take the last one because it's going to be easiest. Kind of loop it around just like that. Let all this stay back in the truck, and then we'll have our plug here. Get that plugged in just as if it was a bulb, and it'll light up. Remember, LEDs only go one way. So if you have ground connected to power and power connected to ground, it won't turn on at all. It has to be power on the power side and ground on the ground side. Unlike a normal bulb, as long as it has voltage going through it, it has a positive and a negative, it doesn't matter. So remember that their polarity matters. And then the cool thing about this is we can take this wire and it locks into place just like it's a normal bulb. Now that we know how everything's gonna go together, we're gonna take this, peel it all off of there. Because this is gonna have a sticky side, I'm gonna wipe this with a rag. This way we give it at least a fighting chance to stick to something. So now we'll just bring it back up, set it into place, squeeze. Now we got our separation, get our screws and put it back in. Last but certainly not least, plastic. Next we're going to move into our handle, our other tail light, and we're going to do these in conjunction because you need access to the other tail light for the backup camera. Now if you got a decent truck and you're not like me, you're going to have bolts all in these holes, but I don't have those, so I got one here and here, so I got to take those out instead. And now our liner is free to come off. Then we got 2 more right here because we have to take this plate off to get access to behind here. Now our plate's free to come off and we have access. Okay, so now that we've made it this far, we got to take these out somehow. I don't remember exactly. Let's look at the new stuff first. All right, so I brought the new stuff out here just so we can see what we have to take apart here. And it looks like all we really need to take off is just the handle. We don't need to focus on the latch mechanism at all. So that's a good thing. And we also have all of this. This is what's gonna run from back here to up inside the cab later on in the video. This is gonna be my downfall right here. However, this is gonna be simple. We got 2 8 or 10 millimeter nuts. I'm pretty sure they're 8 millimeters. They absolutely are. Got our 8 millimeter wrench, and I got these because we're gonna need these later. But we just stick it in from the side, just like how your mom likes it. And then a little bit of finesse. We have our old handle off, and we'll take this one and put it on. Slip it in from behind, just like how your mom likes it. Come on, you know. We're gonna wanna ditch this zip tie here because we're gonna need to run this down through the tailgate, down to the bottom where the box is at, down around, somewhere around right here. Yep, there it is. Here's the wires for the light that's back there. We're gonna have to run this along with that. Bring in our camera. Little bit of finesse. Replace those 8 millimeter nuts. Make sure it works, because having a backup camera is all good until your tailgate doesn't open. So with that comes the fun part, and by fun part I mean the part I'm looking least forward to, and that's running this wire, as simple as it sounds, from here to there, and it's gonna be a bitch. Kinda gotta just hope a little bit here. Something that we can do though to make our lives a little bit easier while we're doing this is we can just go ahead and take off the tailgate, go up about 45 degrees, pull up on your passenger side, and then you can slide it off sideways. And you can take off your clips here and then really isolate it, but I don't think we need to go through all that. We just need to be able to get our dick beaters in this hole back here. So all I really need to do is flip it up. Oh, yeah, look at that. We can do something with that. Okay, go figure. As soon as the GoPro died, I got it. You see that thing poking out of there? Right there? Yep, that's our cable. The way that I did it was I fed it up through the first hole, and then I just fished for it using this and pulled it up and out. Now we can put our tailgate back together and onto the truck. Come on, slide in. That there. Is that it? Is that on there? It's on there. We got the camera installed. We can go ahead and put all this stuff back on. Now that we have this through, I'm gonna explain to you how we're gonna do this. This here is our reverse light. So when we take our other tail light out, we're gonna have to find the power and ground for the reverse. And that's gonna come from right here. This power and ground for our reverse is gonna go through this loom all the way up to the front of the truck, and it's gonna come out to here. And this is gonna go to the radio. This is gonna be our reverse signal wire, and this is gonna be the camera wire itself. I haven't figured out how we're gonna do that yet, but I do know we're gonna need this section somewhere around back here, close to this, so it'll probably come across and up through in here. Let's figure out where these go now. Okay, so it's worth mentioning, I have our old light off, our new one about ready to go on. I just didn't replace these retainer clips, but I do have it plugged in, and we can tell with a multimeter which light is going to be our reverse lights. If we leave all the other lights off and only have the reverse light on, we'll get voltage in one of those wires, and that's going to be the wire that we're going to need to splice into. All right, so now that we have just the reverse light on, unplug this harness. Now we can come in here, find our ground, which is going to be our top left, and check all of the other ones and see which one gives us voltage. There's 12. That might be our reverse wire right there. Let's check some others just to be sure. No, no, and no. So this right here, there's our 12 volts. That's going to be our reverse wire, and it's going to be white with a green stripe. Now that we know what wire is going to be our reverse wire, we're just going to peel back this tape here, get this loom peeled back a little bit. All right, so we're going to need a ground wire, and we're going to need the white with a green stripe. These two are going to be our power and our ground. I'm going to go shut the reverse lights off so I don't short this system. Now we're going to come in with our wire strippers, crimpers, and cutters, and we're just going to cut them just like this. Now we'll have a truck side and the light side. We're going to stick to the truck side for right now. We're going to add our reverse power and ground. We're going to add this to the truck side, so it'll kind of come in through here like this, but I'm hoping to get it on to this side. Let's go run these wires and get them into place before we start crimping. Okay, so down here we might not see very much, but right here is our camera cable. Coming from up here, you'll see that we have our cable. We got to find a way to run it from over here, from this piece of light right here, and we got to run it over back behind there. We're gonna want to run this on the back side of this hitch, over the frame, down, up into here, which is where our tail light is, and then we pull it on out. We don't only just need that, we need that whole harness now pulled through this hole. Perfect. Okay, so now that we have our power and ground ran up here, we can now feel good to crimp it. For the backup camera, we're gonna wire these onto the truck side of this, and this will be our light side. All right, because this will be our 12 volt coming from the truck, and this will be going to the lights. These are very, very thin wires. They don't require much amperage, so they're gonna be very thin and can potentially be hard to work with if you're a brute. All right, so we got our power and we got our ground. Wrap our power up. Shove a connector over them.
Okay, Train decided that this was going to be a great time to pass by, so future voiceover Chris is telling you what I'm doing. Since this train is passing by, I'm crimping the grounds on the truck side of this harness as well. Now I'm getting into stripping and crimping the ground on the light side into it. And then as the train is not by anymore, but I'm not talking, I'm working on crimping the power from the light side into the truck side.
The fuck just fell? Okay, so now with all of this done, we can test and make sure that it still fucking works. How about that? It works. Sweet. Now that we know it works, we'll get our loom. We'll leave the butt connectors out and put the wires in the loom, and then we'll wrap it up with some Gorilla Tape or electrical tape, whichever you prefer. All you got to do is just keep that wire loom closed so nothing ever falls out of it. And now we can polish off with the rear tail light. Don't forget your resistor and screws. And just like that, we got some fancy ass tail lights and a reverse camera ready to be wired up. Okay, so let's move on to the tag lights. Tag lights are probably going to be the easiest ones that we do. It's really easy. There's 2 steps. To get them out, it's really easy. Back behind there, there's a little metal tab. Slide it off to the side and you pull these right out. Now that we'll have this out here, pull it out, boom. Another 194 bulb. Now because it's an LED, we need a resistor, red to red, black to black. You know the deal. And we'll have to find a place to tuck this. We'll take this, throw it in our 194, tuck everything back in, and slide our clip back into place. And as far as our resistor, we're just gonna tape it up to the wire loom. Then we'll do the same thing on the other side, and boom, we got tag lights. All right, so boom, now we got fresh tag lights. We got one more bulb to replace until we get into wiring up the backup camera. Let's go to the fenders. So you may be able to tell already that we have a fender light out. That's part of the reason why we're replacing these, just because they're no good no more, obviously, because it doesn't work. So we need another one, and I got just the ones. Now they come in a pack of 4, 2 for each side, obviously. They have a red sticker on the back that let you know it's red, the yellow sticker to let you know it's yellow. Red goes in the back, yellow goes up front. As you can see, there's a tab right here. We're gonna have to push in on that tab and pull it on out. But we gotta do it from the fender well side. And this one doesn't have a tab, just sticky stuff. And you'll find, once again, we have a 194 bulb, slide back on the red clip, push and pull. That right there is why this one doesn't work anymore. As you can see, there's some corrosion in there, and we're missing a prong. The one that was broken is obviously the worst of it all, and because this connector is absolutely destroyed, you got 2 options. You can get a new connector, or you can not use a connector at all. And that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be doing some cutting and some splicing for this new light. Just like we did for the reverse lights, but I'm just gonna time lapse this. Now that I got all that done, we're gonna take our bendy side, put that in first, push, and then push this front side in. It'll catch, and boom. And now, when I turn the lights on, we'll see that it works. We got a nice red line. I love that look. So much better than this. All right, so now that we got the bad one out of the way, let's go ahead and do like a legit one that I don't have to repair anything. This is all corroded. Oh, maybe I can show you a good example of a normal fucking light. Jesus. These all gonna have a fucking problem on them. All right, let's go to this back tail light. Take this, just because it's sticky. We know we can just peel it off. Come into here. Oh, this is already promising. Look at that. It's covered. No corrosion. Boom. Okay, so we pull this out, get ourselves a fancy new red one. Plug her on in there. Skinny side, fat side, skinny side, fat side. Remember, we want this to go first. Slide it on in there. Push. And it slides back. Plastic, and we got a light. Wow, finally we found a fucking good one. Now we only got one more left to do. Plastic. Boom, and we got Fender lights. Jesus, that took entirely too long for how simple it's supposed to be. Okay, so the last thing that I have to do is deal with this and get it up to the front into the radio. I'm gonna run the wire. I'll meet you guys up front. Now that all the hard stuff is done, I got the wire in here. All I did was pretty much find another wire loom and run this along with it and zip tied it up along the way. I brought this up in through where my parking brake cable goes so that it comes in through the floor, and then this will run back behind the dash into this little guy. Okay, that's broke, don't worry about it, it's not your problem. Now the next thing we got to do is get all this out of the way. We don't worry about that. And to get this dash apart, you got to work from the bottom up to the top, and then you'll get the radio. And you'll see we have a cluster of wires to deal with here. Now, on the radio, thank God this one tells us what's what. Camera rear is gonna be top left. So this is showing us the radio, but turned this way. So here we can see we're gonna have our sub out. This is where this guy is gonna go. It's gonna go just like that. The next thing we need to look for is where this red wire goes, because this red wire is gonna be our reverse signal wire. We gotta know where that's gonna go. So we'll take a look at this wiring diagram, or lack thereof, that the radio gives us. And here we're gonna look for reverse lamp right there. Wow, look at that. And it is showing ... orange. Usually orange is a dimmer. So this, we're gonna assume this is the orange one it's talking about. Usually the dimmer orange will go all the way into the OE harness. But before making anything official, especially when dealing with radios, always test, because you don't want to put everything back together and then find out that it doesn't work. So we're gonna take this wire that comes from our reverse light, attach it, tie it up in a knot so we know there's a decent connection there. Plug in the radio signal, and then we gotta put it in reverse. We have a very shitty aimed backup camera. Oh, that's because the tailgate's down, dumbass. And then all we gotta do is put it in reverse. Now we have backup camera. Look at that. And now we should see real colors. Now we make everything official and and get it all done with. Shut everything down so we don't zap ourselves, and we also still gotta run this wire. Up, up, up. Plug everything back in, throw it back all together. Now, it's probably worth noting that you do need like a fancy radio with a screen. As long as it has a screen, you should be okay. Mine is a Fast and Furious style where it flips out and then we get our backup camera. And don't forget the most important part. Peel off your plastic. Now we can back up. So there we go, just like that, we have all new LED rear end lights. We are now fully LED on the exterior for all of these lights, including the cab ones. Those I replaced when I first got the truck because one of them was out. And we have a backup camera. By the way, we also have sequence for our turn signals. I couldn't be happier. I think this looks badass. Thanks for watching. By the way, you know, I never say this at all. Well, I very rarely say this actually, but if you like these videos, the best way to support the channel is to share them with a friend or somebody that you think might like them. If you like them yourself, you can go down below, hit the like button, maybe even subscribe. I do put out videos sometimes. I am back streaming on Twitch. I only stream on Sundays though, so you can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/ChrisOn6, Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central. These lights look awesome. Thank you for watching, and I went with the strobe. What can I say? Alright, let's go edit this fat bitch. But until next video, thanks for watching. I'm ChrisOn6. I'll see you.
Tits or tires, make it squeal. FTP, I drop a gear like magic, man, I disappear. Flip the plate and take away. Boy, just stay in your lane. Forehead gang, we taking aim. That's your bitch, you scream my name. I signed her tits. Fuck the raw, made her babysit.
Your kids are still in my hair, dog.